and welcome to the learning phase. This is legitimately my favorite phase. This is where all of that hard work that our proposal writers and our evaluators have done over the past couple of months really comes to the fore, and we all get to learn something. I get to learn something. Dave gets to learn something.
I learned a lot.
Our evaluators
I didn't know
learn
much
things.
to begin with, so
So
it's easy for me to learn.
It's always a pleasure. I always say during this phase that when I'm talking to you guys and reading reports and things, that I learn about problems at the same time that I learn about solutions, and that makes me happy all the time.
Yep.
So,
Well said.
the first part of this phase is really up to you guys, the people who have received the feedback reports.
I get to take a bit of a break during the first step of the learning phase.
Yep.
All of the reports have been sent out. You've received them, hopefully. We do, as an aside, really like it when you confirm that you've received the report. Just write back, thank you very much, we're reading it. That would be very helpful. And we're going to give you a full week to read. We're not going to follow up for another week. Reports come June 1st and November 1st. We also follow up June 7th and November 7th to get into the second step of the learning phase, which is a very important step. Obviously, the report, you're really going to want that. Read it. That is the feedback. That is the meat of the program. That is what we're doing here. If you're not planning on reading a lengthy feedback report, there's really no point in participating here. If a lengthy feedback report on your grant proposals is a exciting prospect for you, then we are the perfect program. And we're going to talk to you about it. This is I think, over the years I've noticed that the groups that get the most out of our program are the ones regularly showing up to the report discussions. This is an opportunity for us to learn, for the folks that we evaluate with as well to learn. And what we learn from them, we can pass along to the evaluators as well. So everyone in our community is learning during this phase. The discussions are a key part of it. We know you're really busy. We're going to make it as easy as possible for you to schedule. Right now, report discussions are with either Margaret or me. If you're lucky, you get Margaret. Usually we switch. If people are coming back round after round, they'll alternate. Just yesterday, I had a call with somebody, and they really enjoyed their previous one with you. It's neat when I get to follow up after the folks that you've talked to. And if you want, you can send us a proposal every 6 months. You get a report every 6 months, and you get to talk to one of us afterwards. Lots of nonprofits are taking advantage of that, and they're seeing their fundraising
The conversations are amazing. We get to talk about your feedback, think about some trends in the feedback, maybe where you're applying next and how you can apply some of the feedback to your next application, and just generally chat about your organization and where you see yourself going. It really is an opportunity for you to pick our brains a little bit and for us to learn from you guys too.
After we've had all of the discussions, comes the third step of our program, which is we issue the official unfunded list, the unfunded list update. Sometimes we'll highlight some of the proposals we read, but always we're talking about some of the trends that came in, some of the mistakes we're seeing certain funders make, some of the trends in the feedback that people are making, anything, reading and reviewing many dozens of proposals, we tend to learn a lot about the state of philanthropy. We do our best to try to write that down in the Unfunded List update, which we publish on our website. And then many folks in philanthropy are reading it. And one of the things that is humbling to me is I know that there's people at most of the large foundations and grant makers that are reading our humble little update. And that's based on the stuff that I learned from the people who participate in the program.
Because we have a very unique perspective. We get to read a lot of proposals from you guys that are very different. So we get to see trends not just from one funder or one organization, but across literally hundreds. So it gives us a very unique opportunity to share what we see with you guys and what
we see the applications. We see the RFPs from the grant makers. We see feedback from our expert evaluators. We get to talk to the authors. It's a lot of unique ways for us to learn. We do our best to capture that and share that with the philanthropic community. And I know this is a favorite. We have now reached the final step of our 4-phase process, and I know this is Margaret's favorite part of the process.
I actually think this is the only reason why Dave started a nonprofit to begin with, right? Was because you wanted to.
It was one of the reasons.
I'm just saying.
So this is the process audit. We end every round with a process audit. We go back and review everything we did, and we look for ways that we can improve it realistically. Obviously, we can come up with a very long list of
Always.
ways to
Always.
improve it, but we really try to narrow down on ways we can improve the process. The suggestions for improvements come from evaluators, and they come from the authors in the discussions. Usually they come from other people. I've had all the opportunity in the world to make changes to the program. We need to learn from other folks. So sometimes we bring in other outside folks to the process audit. It's a very serious situation.
You remember that very first phase where we set up our partnerships for the year with co-review? We'll often bring those folks back to be part of this, to hear from them. How did it go? What did they learn from the process? And how can we make the whole entire co-review process also better for our next round of partners?
Yep, that's true. And once we have audited the process and chose the ways that we're going to improve next round, that's when the next round begins, where we start accepting proposals yet again, recruiting evaluators again, getting ready to put reports again. We have done 20 rounds of review over 10 years. I look forward to doing many more rounds. Thanks very much for the help, Margaret. Thanks everybody
Thank you guys.
for listening. I hope you enjoyed our little recap of our process.
Thanks.